Oh, this is hard for me to say, but I want you to listen to this startling statistic. Every single year in Florida, enough children to fill 5 preschool classrooms drown before they've ever made it to their 5th birthday. But this can be prevented. Lisa Mayrose from the Florida Department of Children and Families joined me with tips this morning to keep our kids safe. Good morning.
Good morning, Carly.
I mean, my eyes swell up already just thinking about this. I told you I have a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. What on earth is going on? I mean, this is it's frustrating to be able to say this.
It is.
It keeps happening.
It does. It's a staggering statistic. And when we realize it takes just 20 seconds of not having attention on a child for a child to begin to drown, we think about throwing a load of laundry in or just answering a cell phone.
And these are local numbers, by the way. This isn't like national numbers. I mean, this is right here in Florida.
That's correct. 67 children already this year in the state of Florida, and 14 right here in the Tampa Bay area this year have drowned.
I feel like one of the misconceptions, I think in my mind that I always try to remember is the fact that when you have a drowning incident, that it's loud and that people are going to be able to hear it and you're going to be able to get to, it may be only 20 seconds, but I can get to them in 2 seconds. What are we seeing that is making this so deadly?
It happens so quietly. Most of the children that drowned the last time they were seen was actually inside of the home. I mean, the good news about this is that they're all preventable if we follow some simple safety tips.
Well, let's start going over what those are. What can people start doing today? Because here in Florida, I know we're kind of in the fall right now, but people are going to be swimming all year long. Pools are open all year long.
That's right. So we call it the 3 S's.
Okay.
So the first S is supervision, and making sure that someone has their eyes on the children at all times around all waterways, whether it's a pool, it's a waterway in the backyard, making sure that when you're visiting friends and families that have those things, are there safeguards in place? Oftentimes we have a false sense of security when we're at a big gathering because we feel there's so many adults, but no one's been designated to watch the child. And again, in 20 seconds, a child can begin to drown.
And I think it's important to bring up social media or phones. We all know what a big distraction they can be when we're on the road.
That's
and it's when we're supposed to be watching our kids as well.
Absolutely. So supervision is key and critical. The second S is safety barriers. How do we have pool gates, child alarms on the doors and on the pool, child safety locks on the sliding glass doors to make sure we're not making those waterways accessible to kids.
Okay. And then last but not least, that last S?
Yes, the last S is swimming lessons, making sure that children understand water safety, they get swimming lessons as soon as they can through local YMCAs or other.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
What say you about, because there's always this debate, I feel like, are they too young? When do you start? What does your team believe and really like to encourage?
They're never too young to start. Some of our YMCAs will take toddlers and begin to work with them as quickly as possible. The other thing to keep in mind is being trained in CPR. If something does happen with a child, this way you're able to respond quickly.
I know you wanted to bring up, this got national attention as well with this unfortunate incident just a couple months ago. When you see those stories, I mean, what do you guys think as a community and kind of as an organization to say, okay, how can we use this for good?
I mean, the thing to keep in mind is this can happen to anyone. And it does. Every single day it's happening with our families. So we look at those tragedies and try to turn them into opportunities to raise awareness and to educate the community on ways
we're talking about is Bodie Miller's daughter.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes.
And it can happen to anyone.
Unfortunately, it can. But again, it is preventable.
So where would you send people for information this morning?
There are some great safety tips on preventneedlessdeaths.com. If you take just a few minutes, there are some great ways that we can all learn on ways to prevent these tragedies.
Okay, great. Well, again, there are those 3 steps to safety. We'll make sure and put all the info on our website as well, so it's easy for people to understand. Again, it's a tough thing to bring up. I'm glad we're doing it. We can never do it enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carly.